All Might, the symbol of peace in a world where everyone has superpowers. A world where anyone can be a superhero or a supervillain. Versus Kid Goku, the young boy who shows strength and cunning far exceeding the average man. Who would win in a fight? Now, I decided to do this video because with My Hero Academia rising in popularity, people have joked about the power of the characters in the series, often stating that even Kid Goku, before even getting training with Roshi, would pretty easily defeat All Might, the strongest character in My Hero Academia, in a fight. And on first glance, it seems as if Goku could have a chance of doing that, as he can easily lift a car, dodge bullets, and tanks bullets with minor injuries. Actually, they're not really even injuries, it's just like bruises. He's also very fine-tuned in the average martial arts and is just a beast overall. But is the world's greatest hero in his prime or even now really weaker than Goku before he even really began his journey? That's really what I want to get into, and I am not going to be putting down any sort of definitive statement. I am more making this a discussion, not like an actual versus battle where I'm claiming who would win. Just putting my thoughts out there who I think might win, but you can definitely disagree with me and say why I'm wrong, but this is definitely just more of a discussion. But I will be throwing out feats, statements, and some math like that, but it's not going to be going all out like I would for a power scaling video. And so I do want to clarify that this is the Kid Goku before even training with Roshi. That's what we're going to use pre-Roshi training, where Goku's actually kind of weak compared to that self. And if we use Kid Goku probably by the time the Demon King Piccolo saga, I would be not surprised at all if he absolutely just smashed All Might with ease, but that's not the Kid Goku we're going to use. But maybe we'll get into that in a later video. Maybe this will be a series comparing All Might to different versions of Goku, but anyways, let's just do this, and let's start with All Might. So All Might started off with no quirk himself, but he gained one of the strongest quirks, One for All, which can be passed down from user to user. This lets the user store power and essentially makes the user very, very strong and very powerful. Now, unfortunately, the All Might we get to see in My Hero Academia is a very, very weak version of himself. Prime All Might would be far stronger and far faster and far more durable. In fact, this is a rough estimate, but we can gauge where All Might was in his prime. He was roughly 60 times stronger than his older self, and that is due to the fact that All Might used 300 punches to take out Nomu when he was older, but he knew that his younger self could have done it in 5. Simple math, 300 divided by 5, and you get 60. Also, we know that All Might has gotten a lot slower. This is stated as by himself and other villains who had previously faced him. So when it comes to All Might's strength, he does have impressive feats. When facing off against Deku and Bakugo in training, he was able to destroy a city block with just the pressure of his punch. And All Might was weighted at that time with 50% additional body weights, and that makes it more impressive. And what makes it the most impressive is that All Might was actually suppressing himself heavily so that he would not hurt his students. So again, the air pressure of his punch destroyed a city block. That's pretty impressive. And also, once fighting a villain, All Might with just the actual air pressure of his punch again, not his punch, the air pressure of it, was able to knock a villain into the stratosphere, which is roughly 6 miles high. This also caused a massive shockwave through the city, and even changed the weather. An extremely weakened and stamina-depraved All Might blocked an attack that incinerated everything around him. He blocked it with just a punch. And also, when All for One and All Might clashed against each other, it caused a massive explosion that leveled a huge chunk of the city. Now, not only since he actually was half of that blast, that makes him half city level, but also he tanked the blast because he survived it, or he tanked a blast that was able to destroy a huge portion of a city. When it comes to speed, All Might is quite fast as he is able to travel 5 kilometers in 30 seconds, which is roughly 350 miles per hour. But wait, All Might didn't use that entire 30 seconds for his distance. He actually fought villains for seemingly most of the time. So even if we say that All Might used 10 of the seconds for actual travel time, that would put his speed at over 1,000 miles per hour, faster than the speed of sound, making him supersonic. Now that was probably his most impressive speed feat, and now we go on to durability. He was able to tank Bakugo's blast that could nearly destroy a stadium. That Bakugo was actually far stronger when All Might tanked those blasts. And also, All Might was suppressed and was levied with weights, so he was able to tank those blasts despite not even being at full power. So now with that power of All Might, let's multiply everything by 60 and see his strength and speed and durability. This can make All Might be able to go a speed of 60,000 miles per hour, or roughly Mach 80. That would make him fast enough to break the atmosphere and go into space. This also means he could theoretically be so strong that he knocks people into space as well. Also, this would make just the air pressure from his punches nigh city level as shown through multiple scans. Also, he should be able to get off at far more than 300 punches in a second. Now that I have somewhat scaled All Might, it's time for Kid Goku. Kid Goku has many different feats that really make him have a range of power, so he can easily lift a car that should weigh at least a ton, he moves several boulders that should weigh more than a ton, he tanks bullets easily, he can dodge bullets easily, and that puts him at his reaction ability being at supersonic speeds, and it's because the average bullet goes 1,700 miles per hour, and that would make Goku's reaction speed at Mach 2.5, or even faster than the old All Might. And also another impressive feat is when Goku is able to swim at a pace of roughly 40 kilometers an hour with a 500-pound sea turtle on his back. Also, now Goku in terms of actual running speed, before his training with Roshi, can only run a 100-meter dash in 8.5 seconds. While he would beat Usain Bolt by over a second, he would be far slower than All Might. It wouldn't even be close, although that could just be an inconsistency. Anyways, Goku has high durability as well, as he was able to tank getting hit by Bulma's car, survive bullets, survived a high fall from the sky, and a giant pinball that could have weighed many tens of tons rolled over Goku, and he was fine. Also, he survived a Wolf Fang Fist from Yamcha, which in its own right would be very powerful punch, but also knocks Goku far back, maybe 50 to 100 feet, and through several stone pillars, and he survives it. He's fine. Now that is basically it here for Kid Goku. Now you can multiply all these feats by 10 when Goku goes Ozaru, so his speed, durability, and everything would be 10 times greater, but the damage we saw from Ozaru Goku was not great. In fact, it really isn't even near what All Might has done out of his prime, not let alone in his prime. So even though his feats don't show it, we can kind of the sort of power scale, but anyways, Goku does also have some basic mastery of martial arts that Grandpa Gohan taught him, but he's nowhere near capable at fighting until later when he gets several masters. Now honestly guys, just sitting back and looking at these feats, just discussing them, I'm not going to deeply analyze them for this video, but just from looking at it, it looks like All Might wins this. And even All Might out of his prime would defeat Kid Goku, and I think he still would actually defeat Ozaru Goku. I think it would be a close battle of All Might versus Ozaru Goku, but if you take All Might in his prime, where he'd be much stronger, faster, and more durable, he could probably one-shot Ozaru Goku, and it wouldn't even be close at all. But again, I'm not dead set on this, and this is a discussion. I just got a bunch of comments making fun of how weak My Hero Academia was, how weak All Might was, saying that even the beginning of Dragon Ball Kid Goku would stomp All Might, but I'm just not seeing it. Not at all. Now, maybe after training with Roshi and Korin, but we'll have to see maybe in a different video. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, but Broku, Ozaru Goku would have a power level of 100, making him close to Roshi, who was a Moonbuster. Well, that's a bit wonky. So, following that logic, does that make the farmer with the shotgun 128th moon level because he's a power level of 5? No, it does not. So, you can't really use that for that sort of scaling. That would make it so that the farmer with the shotgun would be effortlessly state or country level, which obviously he isn't. Power levels are just weird, and Ozaru Goku did not show anywhere near the power to destroy even a city, let alone a moon. Now I know Goku gets way stronger later in the series, as even his power level against Tien was stated 180, which would make him far stronger than even his old Ozaru form, which I used in this video. Would that Goku defeat All Might? Who knows? Probably, but anyways guys, what do you think? That's what I want to know. I'm very interested in your thoughts. I know some of you will be very analytical and very math savvy, more than I was in this video. I don't want to end the debate here. I want to beg the question or bring it up so that we can discuss this as a fandom, who might win. I'll be interested to see your thoughts down below. Don't forget to that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications to see more of my videos, join my Discord, and follow me on Twitter. And also, thanks to all my Patreon supporters. So my Super Saiyans is Hodag Hunter, and my Super Saiyan 2s, Darius, Israel Flores, Locke, Anime Paradox, and Mystic Ghoul. And also thanks to my Super Saiyan 3s, Scotland Serenity, Daraj Payton, Sin Overlord, and Griffin Jacob. And thanks to my new Super Saiyan, Danielle Toro, my new Super Saiyan 3, Dante's Ware. Thank you guys so much for all the support. It really does mean a lot, and I hope you guys all have an amazing day.